Good morning to you. You are now live with me, Shakeitha Patterson, and it is a happy Friday. And I most of us have been waiting for this day. I know I have, even though I am yet on call, but it is definitely a happy Friday. And thank you, Odie, for joining. Paul, thank you for joining. I hope you're having a great morning. Appreciate you coming on live with me. But it is definitely a happy Friday, and it says, "There is no lack, for my God supplies all of my needs according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus." And that is Philippians 4:19. And yes, my needs are definitely being supplied by God through his riches and glory. And I am so grateful on this morning. And I have to be grateful. It's because, you know, things are happening in my life. Things are, transforming in my life, not just in my life, but even in my home. So I am definitely grateful on this morning. God has allowed us to, do some, remodeling in the house, and it is coming along so great. I mean, this is definitely when it's just like so awesome when you can just be grateful for just the small things. And and I have a story that I'll get back to and tell you what happened with the transitioning of the remodel and everything and what's going on. But I am glad that you're here. And if you are watching this video live, if you would do for me is hashtag live. And if you're going to be watching the replay, do please hashtag replay. And just to get a little interaction going on, if you can for me, tell me where you're from, and and let's just engage this morning. Because a lot of times, I do get on here, and and I share, and I just want to just not just share those who have birthdays, but also share you for coming on live with me. I really do appreciate it. And so moving right along, because I do have some things I have to, I have a project that I'm working on, and I have to be there by 9 a.m. this morning. So I'm going to be a little pressed for time. So I'm going to go ahead and, get started and get moving. But starting out with the first thing, it says, don't raise your voice, improve your argument. And I like that, so I chose that this morning because a lot of times, in arguments, you raise your voice, you're screaming, you're shouting, and you just not hearing the individual. You only just hearing what you want to say. So let's not raise our voice on today, but let's improve our argument. Thank you, Sean, for jumping on. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on live with me. Um, but getting, I'm basically just kind of speaking on the quote on the screen on this morning is like, don't raise your voice, improve your argument. So instead of raising your voice, let's just improve our argument on today. Just think about that, when we feel like we're being pushed to that level, just improve the argument. Don't raise your voice, don't yell, don't scream, don't shout. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the quotes on this morning. And it is February the 22nd of 2019. We're in the second month and the 22nd day of the month. And I am so glad to be here. Another day that was not promised to me, and I am in the promise right now. And so I'm very appreciative of that. And if you are here watching this video, you are too. And so the quote of the day, it says, the time you enjoy wasting is not time wasted. And that is Bertrand Russell. And that is so true. If you enjoy wasting time, it wasn't wasted time. So maybe somebody else might think that you're wasting time. But if you are enjoying that time that you're wasting, it's not time wasted. So I actually can agree with that. And the next one is, reason is God's crowning gift to man. Reason is God's crowning gift to man. And that's Sophocles. I probably messed that name up, but I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm just gonna leave it right there. But anyway, reason is God's crowning gift to man. So God has given us the gift of reason. Yes. Okay, got it. And of course, this is Black History Month, and we're gonna keep saying that it is the love month as well. And this quote goes on to say, "Love takes up where knowledge leaves off." Thomas Aquinas. Love takes up where knowledge leaves off. And I can't right now wrap my mind around that one, so I'm just going to move to the next quote, which is the art quote. It says, "When I draw something, the brain and the hands work together." And I get it. I get it because the brain and the hands work together, so you can actually draw that creativity or paint that creativity or whatever it is that you're creating at that moment. So yes, I actually got that one this morning. Okay. And then we got the nature quote, and it says, "This world is always in movement." And I'm sorry, let me go back to this art quote. That was Tato Andu. And the nature quote again was, "The world is always in movement." V.S. Nepal. And yes, the world is always in movement, even if we're not. And the thing is, I'm just to take that to another level. Yes, the world is always in movement because we make this. We actually are the people that consist in the world. So yes, we are the world. So we are always constantly moving. So I can take that in two different ways. And the funny quote, and y'all know these things again, like I said, whoop, they go over my head. So I don't get jokes. I don't get them. I can't even really tell them. But it says, "An optimist is a fellow who believes a housefly is looking for a way to get out." George Jean Nathan. Crazily, but I actually got that one. So, and we know about being optimistic is like, you're seeing things in the positive sense. So instead of seeing the glass half empty, you see the glass half full. So I can see that where, optimists see the fly always trying to find a way to get out, not linger around and stay in. So yeah, I got it this morning. Good. And so let's move right along to these birthdays. Oh my God, I love the birthdays. I love the birthdays. And the first birthday we have, and this shout out goes to Brenda Weatherspoon. She is 52 years young on today. Happy birthday, Brenda. And we got Laura Crotch, 30 years old this morning. Shaik Kali, 36 years old this morning. We got Clement Blue. Happy birthday, you guys. We got J.E. Walker, Garrett Williams. He is 46 years young this morning. Happy birthday. And we got Curtis Lewis. Shout out to Mr. Curtis, 55 years young on this morning. Happy birthday to you. And I hope that you guys have everything that your hearts desire on this day, and that you get a wealth of love from all those who surround you. So happy birthday again, and enjoy your day. And so, kind of getting back to what about being grateful to God for little things, and this is a conversation that me and my husband had on this morning, and I got to thinking about how how a lot of things have come to pass in my life about speaking those things that are not as though they were, speaking things into existence. And I had to reminisce back about um when it was years ago, and I had spoke and I had told someone that I was gonna get a black Volkswagen Beetle and that I wasn't gonna pay for it. And it actually came to pass. I actually got a black Volkswagen Beetle, and I didn't pay not one red cent for it. And I'm grateful to God for that. And even right down to the point that I didn't even have to pay the insurance on it. So God is definitely really good, and this is how I know um, the power of speaking things into existence. Because we have power, life, and death in our tongues. And so the thing is, if you really go back and pay attention to some of the things that you have spoken, and it's in the now that that you have spoke that thing into existence. And so there is definitely power in our speaking. you know I know we speak a lot of things. uh I mean, even in the negative sense. That's why I always tell be careful about when you speak, because it's a person that I know that and let me go back like some years ago, where this lady I used to visit, and every time I saw her, I'll ask her how she's doing, and she would always say, "I'm sick. I am sick. I am sick." And after you continue to say something so long, you speak it into existence and you stay sick. So she was sick all the time. And I'm like, and me being the person I am, I try to be an encouragement to everybody, as much as possible. But I would always tell us that, don't say that. I mean, so, and I know sometimes, we feel bad. I mean, we feel bad. We don't feel good in our bodies, and I get that. But we don't have to speak it in the atmosphere. We don't have to speak how we're feeling in the atmosphere. I mean, because the thing is, it is power in what we speak. So, I would try to, encourage her to say things, say, "I'm healed." Start speaking that you're healed in your body. Start speaking that healing. And I truly believe that it will come to pass. I said, because I've experienced it. So, so whatever it is that you want in your life, start speaking it into the atmosphere. Start speaking it into your existence. It's because I believe that it will happen. I mean, and again, whether that's negative or positive. So be careful about what you speak. And even when we're speaking about people and our children, and growing up, people say things, and I probably even said these things before I even knew better. Some things, we'll say that will discourage our children, and because we have spoke it so long, and so now it's in the existence, and that's how they're living. Like, and I hear people say this, about, and I probably even said it. I'm sure I've said it. I know I've said it. We see people that are not doing so well, and we'll say, "Okay, look at this person here. That ain't nothing but a this." I'm not gonna say, because I'm not trying to degrade anybody. But we speak those things instead of saying, "What? Look at that blessed individual. Look at that person. He's this or she's that," in a positive. And we have to start speaking life and not death. I mean, because we can speak, we definitely can speak, death. So I just encourage us on today, start speaking life into people's lives. Speak life into your own life. Because it will come to pass. And you just have to believe that it'll come to pass. And I don't want you to believe that something will come to pass in a negative sense, because like I said, I'm not that negative individual. But yes, we need to start, speaking things into existence. And it goes back to, I'm saying, I spoke years ago, this black beetle into this, and this sitting in my driveway. I spoke a SUV in my life, and I didn't pay for it. I mean, I spoke that into existence. So I'm like, so the thing is, there is power of speaking into your own life. It's power of speaking into other people's life. So I say on today, start speaking those things that are not as though they were. I mean, because they will come to pass, especially if you believe it. Because you have to have the faith to believe that you already have it. So I'm just saying on this morning, speak it into existence. And going, and there was the story that I was going to actually tell, and so I'm gonna get to that. Is about how, being grateful for the little things, and how God will make you ruler over many things. And so the thing is, you may not have what you want right now, and it goes back to speaking things into existence. I'm like, so you may not have the better things or the great things. And I think about, the house that I'm living in right now. It wasn't the greatest house in the whole world. I mean, I got the house on a very, really, really great deal. And the crazy thing is, this house was even spoken into existence. I mean, because I spoke that I wanted so many rooms, and it to be, I spoke, the house be a 4 bedroom house. So, and that's what I got. I got a 4 bedroom house. And how I got the house, I didn't pay very much for it. It is a fixer upper. And now, me just being faithful in what I have, God is making it into something very beautiful. I mean, and so with the whole remodel, the transitioning from, what it was to what it is now, I'm just so grateful for that. I mean, and we're talking about the little things, so let's be grateful for the little things, because we will be ruler over many things if we could just be grateful for what we have right now. I know some people say, I'm content where I am. And, I used to think, I'm like, how could you be content where you are? I mean, but the thing is, sometimes in the mind of people, I'm content where I am, because the thing is, that's a small thing. And then, because we will be rulers of many things. And I see that in my own life. So I'm just want to encourage you on this morning is, again, be faithful in the few things, so that you may be ruler over many, and to start speaking those things that are not as though they were, and start speaking life and not death. Start speaking those things into existence. So again, I want to thank you guys for jumping on here and allow me to, if I have motivated you, inspired you, I really appreciate you coming on, and listening. I really enjoy sharing with you guys every single morning. And again, like I said before, it has helped me, to encourage me to get up and get in front of this camera. And I hope that I have inspired someone on this morning. Again, I thank you for jumping on. Again, I'm Shakeitha Patterson, and as always, God's happiness in your life. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.